Alrighty, so today's pattern is Hamsix by Alena Light. I've not tried this one before, but it looks a lot like some that I have tried, so I'm going to give this a go. Looks like I make 6 petal-like shapes and then just keep going around, so we're going to give that a try. Let's see. Oops, sorry, I'm bumping into the tripod. I apologize. One. Are they straight down here? 2. 4. 5 and 6. Okay, now what do I do? Off to this side. We just do 1 here and to the middle, all the way around. One here and to the middle, all the way around. It's a really hot day here. Probably a hot day where you are too, unless you're not in the United States. But if you're in the United States, it's going to be a hot day, no matter where we all live. There's a heat advisory out there, so everybody stay cool. Sorry that my AC just came on. I usually have that turned off while I'm videoing so that you don't have to hear it. Something like that, right? Yeah, that's what it looks like. Alright. Just keep going around until it gets full. I think some of mine are longer than others, but that's okay. I think I'm starting to give it a curl. I like the curl. We'll continue the curl. I know these ones of single patterns are not probably the most exciting ones to ever watch, and there will be times where I just kind of get in the zone and I stop talking. I did that on the last one, and I apologize, I didn't even think about it. I thought about it a little bit, but then when I got to the end, I really stopped thinking altogether, I think, which made it. I don't even think I said goodbye. I didn't even end it. I just stopped, which was probably not the best for you guys, but whatever. Alright, now I need to kind of fill in, I think. So, in order to fill in, I gotta go back the other way. So it's not quite as curvy. I don't know where that curve came from, but sometimes your pen just does what your pen's gonna do, and you just are along for the ride. If I go too much further, I'm going to run out of paper. once you get to that point, and it goes to where? Okay. And it goes to like there. And just round and around, spinning like a top here. Until it's all full. Let's see what it decides to do. It seems to have a mind of its own. I like it. It looks pretty. But it seems to have a mind of its own. It's going to fill itself in however it decides to fill itself in. Sometimes your pen and your hand just does. It just does. It doesn't seem to have rhyme or reason to it. It just follows along and it does what it decides to do. Not all of my petals seem to be the same. Matter of fact, I think every single one of my petals is different, but I guess that's okay. Since I've been turning and turning and turning, they should all have the same number of petals, but they don't seem to be filling the same, so oops. I almost overdid right there. Getting close to filling that one in. But since I've got this little curvy thing, which is not on the original, there we go. We'll just kind of stop it and go behind and fill it there. And same with that. We'll go behind. That looks full. That one is full. This one needs one more. Now it's full. That one also. And this one needs a couple more because this one, for some reason, not as fatter than the others. Alright. Sign it somewhere. Give it a little bit of shading. I think a little bit of shading right there, right? Like overlap. I think that's what I'm going to do. Right there. Shading sometimes, depending on how complicated my tangles are, sometimes the shading actually takes me longer to do than the whole drawing. And that's okay. It is what it is. Let me use a water one. Ooh, that one's got kind of a scratchy thing. That's because, oh, that's not a stump, that's a tortillon. Or tortillon, however you say it. I think they kind of are scratchy. My personal preference is to use a blending stump, and somehow I've got this giant big fat one on my table here, so it's the one I'm using. I don't really like this particular blending stump. It's too fat. It's hard to hold. It's not comfortable in my hand, and I don't seem to have as good a control with it. So I need to make sure I go get a different one for leaving here on my table. I really want this darker here on the edge where they overlap. I want that really dark right there. And that could have a lot to do with my paper. If you've seen my video about shading and paper, this cardstock does not take the graphite as well as some of the others, and maybe with the cardstock I need to use a little softer lead. I'm using the HB, which is similar to a number 2 pencil, and I think maybe on the cardstock, in order to get the shading that I really like, I'm going to have to switch to a little bit softer pencil so it can be a little darker. I like it to have some boldness here to it. Alright, that looks like I've gone all the way around. Let's give that a little more softening to the edge. Ah, that's better. That's more like what I wanted. And 6, that should be all the way around. There we go. Hamsix. I like it.